Answer is
I think it's too because you're measuring, it says how much you're measuring how much is left and then you'll use that for a 3D object. 3D, yeah, not the paper.
But it's talking about Wait, what do you want to say?
Try for the test of look if it's 3D.
what would be the marshmallow?
2D.
All right, keep it
I don't think so much.
Okay, Mary Austin is the only one who can hear me, but thank you for lowering your voice. All right, you guys, we need to discuss these as a larger group. So as promised, my reporters have a big job. Up here, I have signs that say 1D for one-dimensional, 2D for two-dimensional, and 3D for three-dimensional. We're going to go through and take a look on what you guys said as a group. So the first one was how much coffee is left in your teacher's coffee cup. So if you are the reporter for your group, I'd like you to stand underneath the sign that has what your group said. Was it 1D, one-dimensional, two-dimensional, or three-dimensional? Reporters, come on up, stand where you decide to go.
Have fun.
2D.
Everybody stand up. Reporters from every group.
Standard 2D.
Yeah. I'm all about 1D, so.
There you go, Derek. Okay. All right. Okay, so reporters. Can you, is that in your eyes? Then can you?
Center of attention.
Yes. All right, so we've ruled out one-dimensional, but I see we have some in two-dimensional and some in three-dimensional. So if I call on your table number, you will have to justify to the class why you are where you're at. Okay, table number 2. Table number 2. Jared. Okay, why do you say three-dimensional?
It's just three-dimensional because we're trying to measure the volume, find the volume of something, and when we find volume, we usually use a three-dimensional shape.
Okay.
Like a cylinder or something.
Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions for Derek on that? No. Someone from the two-dimensional group. Hector. Why did you, how did you see this problem so that you and your group chose two-dimensional?
Well, kind of doesn't show, it's just showing like one side of it, and then you have to.
Okay, can you share that with the class?
Thing is, just look at it as like a two-sided thing that's looking through height and width of stuff.
Okay, does anyone have any questions, comments? Anyone want to challenge Hector's idea? Agree with it, disagree with it? Dennis, do you have anything to add?
So coffee. So if you look from the top perspective, it's just a circle, and that's a two-dimensional shape. So if you're just looking from the circle, you can't really see how much coffee is left inside the coffee cup.
Okay, do we have, I see that some of us maybe want to challenge that idea. Dylan.
The question is asking specifically how much coffee is left in your teacher's coffee cup.
Yeah.
And how are you going to judge that based? Because if you're looking straight down, yes, it's a 2D shape. But if you're wanting to know how much is left, you're not going to look straight down the cup. You're not going to figure out how much is left.
Well, okay,
Question.
before we get into, so, Dennis, I can, hold on. I sense we're getting a little bit defensive here about your statement, but do you understand what Dylan is saying? Does that make sense? Does it make you, do you still, like, how do you feel about that? Can you respond?
Well, I guess I'm kind of, I don't know, it's kind of.
Oh my.
You guess what? I need you to clarify.
I'll stay 2D.
Why?
Okay, I'll
Why?
because you're seeing how much coffee is left in the coffee cup, and
Here you go.
you're seeing how much coffee is left in the coffee cup, so you have to see how. Yeah.
Joby.
I think what Dennis is trying to say is, like, to measure coffee in a cup, you're using tools in 3D, so put it in coffee.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone from the group here, Derek?
I'm also disagreeing with them because if, like what Dennis was saying, if you look straight down at the coffee cup, it's a circle, but if you look at, that's saying, like, if you look at another 3D object and you look just straight at the top, it's also going to look like a 2D shape.
Oh, that's kind of like the cross sections, what we were doing yesterday. We were looking at a 2D part of a 3D shape. Okay, so I'm wondering, with this two-dimensional group, are you standing your ground with two-dimensional, or do you think that measuring the amount of coffee would be 3D? What do you guys think? So, Dennis, what do you think?
I guess 2D. That's the word.
Staying with 2D, okay. Toby, you're gonna switch? Go ahead and switch. Okay, and Hector, what do you think?
Kind of think of it.
You're thinking of switching?
I have an
Okay.
objection, right?
Okay, Jonathan, what is your question?
Well, it's not a question, it's a comment.
Okay, well, let's maybe keep our comments to ourselves for right now.
Well, actually, it is a question. It's a question now.
Oh, okay.
So I'm wondering why. Well, obviously, I'm gonna agree with you saying that if you look down, it's gonna be 2D. Well, you can't really tell how much coffee's left in a coffee cup unless it's a clear cup. Because if it was a red cup, you can't look from the side view. Like, how are you gonna tell? So it wouldn't make sense.
Ah. So, Rodrigo, that came up in your group as well. Could you maybe speak to what you guys thought about?
Well, I thought it was 2D. He thought it was 3D. Because you told us that if we freeze the cup and we took it out, the coffee would be if we freeze the coffee, the coffee would be like solid, and if we like spill the cup, then the coffee would just get spread out, and it'd be 2D.
Oh, okay, so spilled coffee would be two-dimensional?
Yeah.
Or.
Okay, we have more comments here. Anthony?
No, I have a question.
Okay, question.
No, wait, I don't know if it's a question. Oh, no, I was gonna say, okay, so, you know, when.
Can you speak up? I want to make sure everyone can hear. This is awesome.
Oh, so when the coffee is in the cup, doesn't it kind of make like a cylinder shape, which would make it 3D, and if it was spilled out, it would be like, since it's liquid, right? Wouldn't a 3D shape be solid, like a solid? Never mind, forget it.
No.
Never mind, forget
it. You're blowing my mind with genius right now. Okay, so did everyone hear what Anthony's point he's trying to make?
Yes.
If he goes like here, it'd be like, couldn't hear me back
Okay,
here.
hold on. Let's have hands raised. Can anyone expand on Anthony's idea or want to take it a step farther?
Dennis, please.
I know Austin, you had your hand up.
It's basically like, you know, if you do freeze it, it is like a cylinder, but like he's saying, if you spill it, it'll be like it's on a piece of paper and it'll make a shape and it'll be 2D. So that's how they could probably say it would be 2D if you did it that way.
Okay, so really what I'm hearing is there's kind of more than one right answer depending how you think about it. In the cup itself, what would we call it? 1D, 2D, or 3D?
3D.
3D. If we spilled it out onto
2D.
the floor.
2D.
Two-dimensional, right? It's going to cover some area. Excellent. Okay, my recorder reporters, take a seat for right now. And now, ooh, okay, wow, we've got time for one more. Ooh, did we get down to H here?
Yes.
Okay, I would like my team captains. My team captains to come up. What did you decide for each? Come on up.
We just finished up. We didn't think of
She did this.
Nobody can take the time to go over the whole.
Yeah.
So they have to.
Don't freeze.
Okay, quickly. Okay. I like it when we think about things a little bit differently. It makes really good conversation. Like, I loved what we just did with the coffee cup. So it looks like we're split between one-dimensional and two-dimensional. Am I right? Okay. Where's my little? So to start us off, the person from table 6. Table 6, you need to defend your stance.
It was one-dimensional because my map, like, the globe, it's like a circle, the globe, and it's just a flat round circle. There's no corners.
Okay. Oh, hold on. We're gonna give our panel the start. So, Joe, will you talk to me a little bit about your decision for two-dimensional?
If it was the equator, you look at it as a circle. If it was 2D, so you find like the circumference of it.
Okay. Can I ask you? Is the circumference one-dimensional or two-dimensional? What do we think?
One.
Is circumference one-dimensional or two-dimensional?
Two.
Ooh. Okay, can someone raise their hand and tell me? Eric or Derek, I've heard from you a lot today, so I'm going to give other people a shot. Okay, I just have a question. Does anyone know if circumference is one-dimensional or two-dimensional? I heard someone say it. Vanessa, can you give me your thoughts about that?
I said it was one because it's like perimeter, like you're trying to length.
What do we think about that?
I agree.
Agree, disagree?
Disagree.
So we agree and disagree. Derek, you disagree what?
Because when you're trying to find circumference is like the perimeter of the outside, but like going back to what Dennis said, when you look at the calculator, it's a two-dimensional shape. Because when you look at a circle, it's a two-dimensional shape, and the circumference is basically just the outside edge of the circle.
You're right. So what you're saying is you're seeing the circle, which you know is two-dimensional, but circumference itself is perimeter, and perimeter is perimeter two-dimensional? One-dimensional, Austin.
Well, it's like this. Take the circle, for example. It's 2D, but cut it in half and you make it a straight line, then it's a one-dimensional object. That's how you find the length. So if you think of like circumference, like a 2D, just cut it in half and make it a straight line, it's the same length.
So then are you saying that that's one-dimensional and two-dimensional?
One-dimensional.
One-dimensional. Okay. Anyone else further, well, so what do we think here? Is the equator one-dimensional or two-dimensional? One. Jackie, what do you think about that?
I guess it's one.
You guess it's one?
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think? One. Jackie, can I ask why you think it's one-dimensional?
So what you said makes sense, what Austin said makes sense, like even if it's gonna be.
Right, like I can measure something, I can measure a sphere, right, by going around, but that length, well, how would we measure it? The length of the equator? Well, what were some units we might use? Feet, miles, kilometers. Is that one-dimensional, two-dimensional, or three-dimensional?
One-dimensional.
One-dimensional. Awesome. Okay, you guys, as you take your seat, I need you to fill out your reflections on the very first page. What did you learn today? Reflection until the bell rings. Just reflect until the bell rings, please. No, I want you to do yours. So they're taking an AP stats test. Okay, reflections, please. Yeah, you can put it away. We're gonna talk more about it tomorrow and review last night's homework. No homework tonight. Yay. Please say this recorded. This was fun. I'm so proud.
Oh wait, we were recorded?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and hoping that it.
10 bonus points.